All right, moving on. A California man is accused of storming a gala dinner attended by top American leadership. He will appear in court on Monday, remember, as the investigation continues into the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. More details are now emerging about the shooter's motivations. Now, the suspect was identified as Cole Thomas Allen, apparently aimed to kill Donald Trump and other senior officials in the administration. As per the New York Post, minutes before the shooting, he sent an anti-Trump manifesto to his family members. He wrote that his targets included officials in the Trump administration, prioritized from highest ranking to lowest. But the list did not include FBI Director Kash Patel. In the manifesto shared with the police by his brother, Allen has repeatedly made references to allegations of rape and sexual offenses. He writes, and I quote him here, "I'm no longer willing to permit a pedophile, a rapist and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes," apparently referring to the U.S. president. He is believed to have attended a No Kings protest as well in California, where he attended college and worked as a teacher. Allen also lamented about the lack of security at the venue, the Washington Hilton Hotel. That's where this dinner was taking place. In the manifesto cited by the New York Post, the shooter allegedly wrote that Iranian agents could have brought even more devastating firepower without anyone noticing it. He says how the security at the event was all outside, focused on the protesters and the current arrivals, and not on the guests who were already present there. In fact, he had checked in, as per him, as a guest a day before this event and even claimed that he walked in with multiple weapons. Now, authorities confirmed that Allen had bought 2 handguns and a shotgun and stored them at his parents' residence. He traveled across the country from California via Chicago to the capital.
It's been about 12 hours or so since the incident happened. And what we believe happened, at least as of now, is that the suspect traveled by train from Los Angeles to Chicago and then Chicago to Washington, D.C., where he checked into the hotel where the Correspondents' Dinner was at in the last day or two. We believe that the 2 firearms he had on him he had purchased within the past couple of years. And we're still investigating motive, and that's something that will necessarily take a couple of days at least. We believe that he was targeting administration officials in this attempted attack.
Now, as per the manifesto, the shooter intended to use buckshots over shotgun slugs in order to minimize the casualties. He also added that the hotel guests and employees were not targets at all, while he will target law enforcement only if they shoot at him. Allen comes from a highly technical and academic background. He's a mechanical engineer and computer scientist who also worked as an independent game developer. Now, authorities say that he was based in the Los Angeles area, where he worked part-time as a teacher. Allen is a graduate of the prestigious California Institute of Technology and had previously participated in a summer fellowship program at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. According to the NBC News, in the note that was sent to his family members before the shooting, Allen had apologized to his parents, his colleagues, and the bystanders for what he was about to do. President Donald Trump and other top officials had a close shave at the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner as a suspect named Cole Thomas Allen ran past a security checkpoint at the venue and opened fire at a U.S. Secret Service officer. Now, the security lapses at this particular event have come to the fore. Take a look at this report for more details.
Shots fired. The Secret Service is now in charge.
The stage was set for an eventful night at Washington Hilton on the 25th of April, with Donald Trump making his first ever appearance as the US president at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. What followed was a shocker. Guests in the hotel's international ballroom ducked for cover under their dinner tables as gunshots were heard outside. It was a security nightmare as the entire US top brass was in attendance. US President Donald Trump, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Health Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent and other members of his cabinet had to be evacuated, and that included the US Vice President J.D. Vance. The suspect, Cole Thomas Allen, ran into a security checkpoint where he was apprehended after opening fire at a US Secret Service officer. But how did this all pan out? Allen was reportedly staying at this hotel, which allowed him easy access to the terrace level, armed with a shotgun, handgun and several knives. The suspect tried to get very close to the stairs leading to the concourse level where the international ballroom is located. This is where journalists, Trump and other officials were sitting. Now, usually when so many top officials gather in one place for a function, it is designated as a national special security event and the US Secret Service is put in charge of security. However, reports suggest that there was no such designation for the press dinner. While the Washington DC police handled road closures and traffic outside, there was no clear responsibility for the security of the hotel itself. The US Secret Service was charged with protecting only the ballroom and the immediate perimeter around it. In his alleged note sent to his family members before the attack, the suspect also mocked the lax security at the event venue. In wake of this security lapse, Trump made a fresh call for building a high-security ballroom within the White House complex and even called for dropping the court case in this matter.
I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before.
This third assassination attempt within 2 years is prompting a rethink of Trump's security measures. As per Fox News, discussions are underway at the highest level about whether Trump needs to start wearing a bulletproof vest for future public events. As the probe intensifies with the suspect set to be produced in court, this incident has raised uncomfortable questions regarding the security of the US president. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Right, moving on, a major warning from the world's highest mountain range. The Hindu Kush Himalaya is losing its snow reserves at an alarming rate. A new report by International Center for Integrated Mountain Development says that snow cover has fallen nearly 28% below normal and that the lowest ever recorded was this year. Often called Asia's water tower, the Himalaya feeds rivers, remember, that sustain nearly 2 billion people, including millions across India. Take a look at this next report for more details.
The snowcaps of the Hindu Kush Himalaya are shrinking and with them a critical source of water for much of South Asia. The latest snow update report shows a sharp decline in snow cover for the 4th straight year. Scientists are raising alarm over systemic decline. Seasonal snow acts like a natural water bank. It stores water in winter and releases it slowly during the hot summer months. This meltwater feeds major river systems including the Ganga, Yamuna and Indus, which are lifelines for millions across the Indo-Gangetic plains. For India, this is where the threat turns real. These rivers irrigate crops, supply drinking water and support industries across northern states. Less snow means less water flow during peak summer, just when demand is at its highest. Glaciers like Gangotri are melting faster. Scientists warn of a double-impact short-term flood risks followed by long-term water scarcity. The impact could ripple through India's economy. Agriculture in the northern plains, especially water-intensive crops like paddy, depends heavily on this meltwater. A weakening flow could threaten food security and livelihoods of several farmers. The energy sector is also at risk. Nearly 80% of India's hydropower potential lies in the Himalayan region, and reduced water flow could impact electricity generation. Meanwhile, as surface water declines, dependence on groundwater is likely to rise. Experts warn this could trigger over-extraction and push water tables to the brink. What happens in the Himalayas does not stay in the Himalayas, from drinking water in cities, to irrigation in farms, to power in homes. The impact will be felt across India if Himalaya's snow cover continues to plunge.